Are we live on the Goob Show? Welcome. If you're new to the show, subscribe to the show. Hit the like button. Definitely comment. Got some great guests tonight. We're going to talk about a couple subjects. Got my man OMAR Bradley Jr., my nigga neighborhood real. We're going to talk some real intelligent shit. Was going to play some music, but fuck all that. We just going to get right into it and bring them, my buddies, up. And we can start this here conversation. What's up with you, Omar?
What's going on with you, Goob?
What's going on, Goob?
Yes, sir. So, I got an echo somewhere. Hold on. Go down. Come back up. You still there? No.
Nah, it's gone.
I'm here.
Okay. So, Omar, first thing.
What's happening?
Being from California, we get into the fires. One,
You said fires?
the fires. Outside of, like we say, we're gonna get into reparations. I don't know. It sounds like my mic is the fires.
It's fake. Okay.
It's fake. I turn my shit down. The fires prior to reparations, because if you notice that it knocked off Mexican and black area Altadena. They already trying to gentrify damn near everything in LA. That's one spot. What I can't understand is the Palisades aspect to it. So what y'all think about that? I know it got the minority area, but it also hit some $1 million homes, and I don't think none of them homes was under 5.8 million. If it's
What you think about that?
No, I'm saying if it's a conspiracy, as people are saying, why the fire started in certain situations, why would they hit one minority, but also hit a exclusive rich area?
What you think about that neighborhood?
Man, I feel like they clearing the lane for them smart cities, and they needed that area to set it up. You know what I mean? Because it's been a lot of talk about that, but they didn't ever say where they was going to put it at in LA out that way. So then all of a sudden you got these fires just pop up out of nowhere. I feel like, just my opinion, I feel like some of that was started, some of it could have been accidental, but for the most part, to blaze a whole city down, yeah, that was like, it's evident it's on purpose. You know, it got a purpose behind it. Let me say that. There's a purpose behind it. It ain't just random. It ain't just didn't happen by force of nature.
What you think, Goob?
Well, first of all, they knew the situation was going to happen eventually, right?
Mm-hmm.
California been in a drought for how many years?
Quite some time.
So when the water, they say, ran out, they had to know if some major fires break out, they're going to run out of water because they already stretched for water. They've been that way for years. A lot of people was asking questions, since Palisades was so close to the ocean, why they just didn't use ocean water. The salt would have killed off. It probably could have saved a little more, but the salt was going to fuck the earth off. The vegetation and everything around it. That's what they spoke. So I don't know if it was a setup. My thing is, how you don't know how it started so long after it's been started. At what point did it start in Palisades? You have to find the area. There's a video that says that one of the towers shot some sparks on it.
One of the who shot sparks on it?
One of those
electricity towers.
Yeah, electricity towers blew up or some shit. One of the, capacitors or whatever blew up.
I saw that
And
footage. I saw that footage.
what
You
you
know,
think?
first of all, let's eliminate the BS or what I see as BS. No, Puffy didn't start the fires to burn up tapes. I'm not buying that one. Um,
No, they said he had
I'm
secret tunnels under Palisades.
secret tunnels. I'm not buying that. Um, energy weapons until we see them, I I can't buy that. What I can say is city planning occurs 10 years ahead of time. We have to, or they have to, have a budget. The only people who are not allowed or who don't have to have a balanced budget is the federal government. The federal government doesn't have to have a balanced budget because they have to take care of the military, and we don't know what the military needs are. But local government and state government has to have a balanced budget. And what I'm assuming happens, in my opinion, the homeless population and illegal immigration has crippled California system. And it works like this. So if my city has 99,000 people, right? Then my census turning in 99,000 people, I'm just going to throw a number out there, $2 million from the federal government. But the moment I reach 100,000 people, I'm getting $4 million from the federal government. My money from the federal government basically doubles. When you have a census basically saying, and I'll just make it a round number, 50,000 people, and you have immigrants coming in and they another 50,000 people and they not filling out census paperwork, and you got another 50,000 people are homeless and they not filling out no paperwork because they don't have no place to live. Now you got 50,000 person infrastructure with 150,000 populace.
Wow.
So you gonna run out of water. Your streets are gonna crumble. Your infrastructure is gonna fail. And if the Republicans would stop saying we're gonna get rid of these illegal immigrants because they criminals and just tell the truth, I think people would be able to swallow that a little bit more. Okay, my city only has 50,000 people, so I'm only getting 2 million, but I got 50,000 more unaccounted for. So what's going to happen when you got 100,000 people driving on a road that's only built for 50,000 people? You're going to get potholes. It's going to tear its ass up. It's going to be a problem. And so you can't, Gavin Newsom, continue to say we are a sanctuary state and we'll take on the homeless because you don't have it's good for voting. It's good to get people to go out there and say, yeah, we want to be a sanctuary state. But land don't grow. California's not getting any bigger. And so when you say you don't have any water in the towers, it's not because you got some secret rich people that have hogged up the water. You got too many people. And you can't go back to the federal government and ask for more money because the government's not going to give you the money that is required for illegal immigrants. For that percentage of the population, that's a different subsidy. That's a different program that the government is going to give you money out of. It's not the money that they're going to give you out of the same pot if you are coming with, okay, our city just grew by regular, normal residents. Now you got people in the Palisades going up there to work. You got people that live in Watts. You got people that live in San Pedro. You got people that live in all of these small communities, and they taking the bus. They taking the RTD or Metro or whatever it's called right now, and they going up there and they working. And we don't know what customs that they have that they use. Just like when they found the dude with the blowtorch. Like he lighting a joint with the blowtorch. Well, that's a hell of a joint. What we do know is it's been extremely cold. We have homeless people in California to the tunes of hundreds of thousands. And we know they set trash cans on fire to stay warm. And we know the winds have kicked up. And it only takes one trash can to turn over. It only takes one person to get mad and kick a trash can over. So before we go to the ethereal and start thinking, Puffy had the fire set. Puffy's money is tied up. Who is he going to pay to start the fire?
Yeah.
That's going to the pen. I'm not going to the pen for setting Mel Gibson's house on fire.
He had a house up in there in Palisades?
No, I mean, there's a couple YouTubers saying Diddy had a house. The two houses that he had got burnt down and had tunnels, and all the tapes were in there. First of all, when Homeland Security ran up in there, they took everything out. I don't know if YouTube brothers have ever had your home raided. I have. They don't send in a cleanup service after they done. They tear your shit up. They take what they think they need, and then they go, and they leave you to clean up later. You can't send them a bill. You know what I mean? Hey man, you broke my computer. They don't give a shit. If you find your computer screen on the floor, it's on the floor, it's cracked. They don't care. It's under the color of law. They could tear everything up looking for what they're looking for. So whatever was at Puppy's house, they got. And he's so tied up in litigation. Who can he pay?
Nobody.
Who can he pay to burn down these good people's good folk houses? It's not gonna happen. And so Gavin can't take he can't take responsibility for it.
Send somebody look at the motherfucking insurance companies. All the motherfuckers decide.
But that's why the insurance companies
all of a sudden.
But that's why the insurance companies are leaving. That's what the insurance companies are not leaving because just some conspiratorial thing. The insurance companies are leaving the same way businesses are leaving. Businesses are leaving. California is too expensive. They can't find employees. If they can't find an employee, California law states you got to make so much money. You got to have this. You got the highest tax base, higher tax base than every other state in the union. So the insurance companies are going to pull out the same way Elon Musk pulled out, the same way Joe Rogan pulled out. Anybody who has money sees the writing on the wall, and they view California right now as a money pit. And until you change the politics and the thinking of Californians and the people who run California, it's going to be a problem. Karen Bass, she took 17 million out of the firefighters. Our last mayor of Compton, Asia Brown, she cut the fire department. Compton Fire Department for a long time only had maybe 25 firefighters and 2 fire trucks.
Damn.
Because they don't see, and Compton lost its paramedic contract because they don't see firefighters as first responders who are going to go in and save the person from the heart attack, go in and save the person for the stroke. They only think in fires. So that's what I can cut first if I want to have some type of funds to maneuver and go someplace else. And this is just something that's their way of thinking. You know what I mean? It's just their way of thinking. And it has to stop. But Gavin Newsom is not going to do a press conference and say, I've allowed too many immigrants to come into California and they came too fast.
So let me, okay, let's check. Neighborhood Real, you said something that kind of makes sense. Talk about that, the city that you see.
On the smart city, like They needed.
They
was
burnt it
talking
down
about
for the smart city.
Yeah, like I don't just really know it like 100%, but I have been seeing that they was talking about trying to set up a smart city where everything, you know what I'm saying, is connected to Wi-Fi. It's all like a Alexis running off Alexis. You don't need cash. All it's gonna be electrical cars. Everything's gonna be automated, even with the shopping and everything, the highways, the tolls, all that stuff was gonna be set up. But they hadn't had a place where they was gonna put it at. But they was trying to tell them they were gonna try to get it up and running in the next decade or before. So I just feel like in that area where the fire was at, that's a good place to set it up. You know what I mean? Because of the area. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like we were saying, we was talking like, why did they burn all these people's houses, these $1 million houses down? Shit, then they cancel they fire insurance right behind it. So they're gonna be easy to grab the land. Because they're gonna be like, man, I can't rebuild, I don't have no money. They're not gonna put all that money back into that area right there on their own out their own pocket, so they can be able to land grab a lot of stuff and set something up. You know what I mean? Because I feel like at some point they're gonna say, "Hey, man, this is a disaster area." They declared the disaster area. Everybody lose their property in that. Am I right or wrong?
You're right, but here's the thing. So certain type of fires on certain land, the land becomes toxic. And once it becomes toxic, it's only certain things that you can put on top of that soil, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that, again, we have to look at is Pacific Palisades, Los Angeles. I don't think that they wanted the fires because of the property tax base. The tax base in Pacific Palisades was wild. They was paying a lot of money in taxes, and that was basically propping up much of their community. The property taxes and the taxes that you pay locally is what prop up your community. So they just lost a major portion of their tax base, period. Again, State Farm pulling out, other insurance companies pulling out, to me, has to do with overpopulation. It's like, so I'm driving through California, the freeways on the weekend, I still had space when I was a kid. You might have traffic Monday through Friday, but Saturday and Sunday, you free to go where you want to go.
You can float through that
Now,
motherfucker.
Saturday and Sunday is still bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
So why should I, as Geico, an example, as Geico, as Freeway, as State Farm, as Farmers, as AAA, why should I allow my insurance company to cover cars when I know that there is a higher chance that these cars are going to run into each other? Now, I got a higher chance that these cars that run into each other may be total, because I also got a higher chance that some of the people driving these cars don't have insurance.
Facts. A lot.
Because they not legal.
Yeah.
So it's not a conspiracy theory. It's when
You
we
know
start off shooting pool, you got all the balls. When you start off shooting pool, you got all the balls in the triangle. You only got to shoot straight, and the balls go everywhere. But as you clear the table, it's harder to make a shot. You drive up to 91 right now, it's cars. You drive up to 105, the 110, the 405, the 710, it's cars. Them little ignorant ass Negroes that was riding on their little motorbikes yesterday had to ride around cars.
Yeah.
They pulling over to the gutter lane because they know, okay,
let me speak on this.
Me over here, it's cars.
Hey,
right.
That one nigga that had the phone was the smartest nigga in the crew. Look, because that
like a movie, wasn't it?
Hey, that nigga was on the phone, rolling on the freeway, talking. He rolled for about 10 minutes. He got off the freeway. Nigga, about another 10 motorcycles pulled up on the side of the nigga. So now it's like 15 to 20 of them. So the police they already had the two for like 30 minutes. But now motherfuckers will put it up with the same motorcycle he had. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that was some cold shit. I don't know if they got
He had a
caught.
homie. He had a homie with the Apple Pay for the gas station. Dude just put his phone up to it. Let's gas up.
Yeah,
Listen,
filled
but
up
that's the
gas.
beauty. That's the beauty of the ignorance of being young, because we don't have that many homeboys no more. As we get older, they fall off. I don't know 15 people I could call to say help. Most of my people were gone. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what he should do, is be grateful that he's in the age group to have, a bunch of people still. I remember days when I had, hey, come up here and 10, 15 people will pull up. I don't have that anymore.
You lucky if you get 3.
Yeah, you lucky if you get 3. Sometimes
that's you, Jay Solid.
Yeah. What up with it?
Okay.
What's up, homie?
What's going on?
What's up with y'all, man? Real nigga, what's up, nigga? I'm seeing your ass in like a year or something, man.
I'm working. I'm dodging out. I'm on low
nigga.
key.
Trying to stay out the mix, huh?
All the time.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Big Goob, what's up, brother?
Oh, not too much, man. We just talking up a little shit. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Omar?
What's going on, Jay Solid? How you feeling?
Chilling, man. So let me catch up with y'all. You think y'all think the fires were intentional?
Could
be. Can't say.
Anything's possible. But I think that the fires, again, as I've been saying, the fires have to do with overpopulation.
But look,
from the
here's
homeless.
what I gotta say. I can't say all of them were, but when you have 5 that jump out at the same time in different areas, you have to suspect at least one of those was arson based. You know what I'm saying?
All of those, but you might have. Okay, so it's homeless people in all them areas, and it's nighttime in all them areas at the same times too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody's starting a fire at a certain time when it gets cold. If you got fires set in these homeless encampments, and the homeless encampments in California are big.
Yeah,
it ain't
they over the freeways.
Yes,
fucking freeway paths, homie. They got the whole month. We was rolling down the 110. Homie, the whole motherfucker, I think it was on not Martin, whatever crosses 110. I'm thinking it's, it could be Vernon, it could be any one of those.
Oh, no. You talking about I think that's Exposition that come right there. They on that bridge right there.
Yeah, right across.
Going by USC. Right before you get to USC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, nigga, you see him on the tent right after motherfucking banning and all that shit. You see the fucking tents right there on the side of the freeway, right off the 10.
Who is the real young breed? I don't know who that is.
That's Haru.
Oh, that's Haru.
Let me just
Haru?
say that we have all
Haru.
Or I'll speak for myself.
Yo.
Oh, okay.
I'm letting the brother build.
Okay.
I will just say for myself, when I was younger and I started my barbecue life, having kids, taking them in the backyard, I have seen some eyebrows a couple of times when I didn't know what I was doing. So for a homeless person to start a fire out of a trash can wouldn't be a reach. Now, I don't know if you brothers have ever put too much lighter fluid on some charcoal and it got away from you and went up in space. But that has happened to me a couple times when I got started. So a fire would be easy to start if you just setting a trash can on fire. You don't know what's in that trash can.
But look,
it ain't just paper, it's plastic.
How much? Let me ask you a question. how much homelessness do you think was in Pacific Palisades? It wasn't
Not
that
much.
much. There ain't
Not
no
I
much.
think
motherfucking home. Nigga, they wiping that.
I,
That's like saying Bel Air. See, the thing when I seen that fire start, I knew what end they was on. They was on that end by the 405 freeway because they didn't want that shit to jump that freeway and hit Bel Air and Brentwood and all that shit because that's where the real money is. Is old antique money is up in Bel Air and
that
all
is
that.
true.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
but
So I
and
don't think there was
I
too
agree with
much
you.
homelessness in
I
Pacific
agree with you
Palisades.
there, but here's the thing. Most of the homeless people in California right now are not from California.
That's facts.
So we gotta look at we have to look at it's some people that come from hunting states. It's some people that hey, I'm gonna go put my encampment up in the woods. Ain't nobody gonna find me. Who's gonna find you in the Pacific Palisades up in them trees and you sitting there and you hunting the deer that's rolling through there, you hunting the rabbits that's
Right.
rolling through there. It's I mean, to me, it's a little bit deeper now. We could say, yeah, it's some arsonists, and we could say there's been a whole lot of talk of we want California back. It's been a whole lot of talk of, you know, we want our land back. Really, truth be told, but that's not a finger I can point. And as I watch YouTube and I see conspiracy theories jump off about it, I'm just trying to bring something that could possibly be solid from my knowledge from my pops being a mayor for 10 years and me
Damn.
being around Congress people, me being around senators, me being around assembly and understanding how they think. And right now, California has to turn their shit around. They just can't have any more immigrants coming into California right now. And you got to do something to slow down the homeless. But the reason why the Democratic Party wants homeless people and wants immigrants is because we have so much vacant housing that you can tie those people to a house and register them to vote. This is
Mm.
what's happening.
I think it's
They
deeper than that, nigga.
registering.
I think it's deeper than
They
votes,
reg-
bro.
it's
Go
it's
ahead. What
it's
you have?
deeper
Yo,
than vote. That's true. That's true. But right now, they're trying to create a stronghold to where
Well,
California
hey folks,
does not
whatever
flip.
if they tried that shit for the last election, that shit didn't work. Because this nigga
Well,
still got
because
in. And
but
he
what
finna
they're
tear some
trying to
shit
do
up.
is they're trying to keep California blue. And right now, what's trending is next couple of elections, California's gonna flip red. That's really what's trending right now. California is on the way to flipping red, and every political strategist knows it. Everybody knows it. People are tired of paying the higher taxes. People are tired of having the homeless. People are tired of having illegal immigrants. People are tired of having their cars ran into on the
Man,
freeway and people
the
not having
fucking the
insurance.
fucking immigration is becoming out of control, nigga. There's certain
And
sections
it's
in Phoenix,
out.
nigga. You can't even speak motherfucking English. I walked into a
Yeah,
goddamn McDonald's, nigga, on the west side of Phoenix, man. Ain't nobody in that bitch spoke English, nigga, in McDonald's, in an American establishment, man.
that's
Nobody
fact.
spoke English. They looked at me like I was crazy speaking English, nigga. That's how immigration is becoming, nigga. If this shit keeps up for the next 5, 10 years, it'll be mandatory to speak Spanish in this motherfucker.
And if you really want to go deeper into it, the reason why the Republican Party is putting a ban on abortion is because they have an understanding that in the next 15 years, they will be the minority in the United States. They don't care if Black women have abortions. They don't care if Latino women have abortions. They are trying to stop the abortion rate from white women because they have to maintain that majority. And you have to understand
They
a
don't have the
government
majority though.
a
they
government
never
is
had the majority.
They have a majority.
Let my boy
Go ahead.
Young Breeze speak.
Nah,
What's good with you, young man?
I'm chilling, man.
It's been a while.
How deep y'all want to go into this shit, man?
We just ride.
We ride.
Okay. Y'all aware that 3 Ukrainian generals had houses in that area where them fires was?
No shit.
Yeah, they are reporting that there are not only Ukrainians.
Come on, brother, you gotta let this nigga land, brother. You gotta get this nigga the mic, bro.
But Mossad as well. Go ahead.
Yeah. And that's equally as important. But they building these smart cities all over the world. So when I say a lot of this shit, I'm saying it from somebody who had top secret SCI clearance when I was in the military, right? And the shit that happened in Tampa earlier this year was the same thing. It was the same thing that happened in Hawaii. Same shit they got going on in Dubai. They trying to build these smart cities all over the world. That's gonna be like these sci-fi advanced cities. Same time, if I'm correct, the Olympics gonna be in LA in 2028, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ain't it gonna be in that same area?
No, it's gonna be if they're gonna it's gonna be by USC. It's down the street from it. But
okay,
if they're gonna do it
at the
if they're gonna do it at the Olympic Auditorium, that's at USC. So that's down the street.
They had it in 84.
Yeah.
Okay. And 28 and 84. What's that? 44.
Let me say this: that whole area now is gentrified. That was gang infested back in when I was out there. That shit is gentrified now. That whole area.
Okay. So
the stadium.
So with bro saying what he said about Mossad, right? In Ukraine, not a lot of people aware that that's where the folks who name rhyme with news. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's where they're originally from, the Ukraine. The ancient name for the Ukraine is Khazaria. And that's where the word Khazar comes from, or the word Kaiser comes from. So these the same people. So the same people that's controlling the Mossad, same people who controlling Hollywood, controlling the news media, controlling all of the records that we listen to. It's the same people. So whenever we see all these natural disasters, you see 9/11, you see different events like this, you got to understand that it's always a money grab. So a lot of it go back to what bro was saying about the insurance, and it ain't no telling who all had hands in what was taking place with this one. But it ain't no way in hell people think that you could look at an aerial view from satellite footage and you could see all of these fires start at the exact same time. And it would be different if it wasn't like the fire wasn't the exact same size and they starting at the exact same time, and you can see that shit from an aerial view. So if it was actually people that started it, because I'm not necessarily sure that it was people that started it, it's definitely was planned, and I think it's multiple reasons why they're doing it. So even though the Olympics may not be in that area, they probably gonna have all kind of developments and build all type of shit in that area. So like in Atlanta when it happened, they moved about I want to say it was like we had the Olympics in 96. They moved like 30,000 people out of the city or something like that.
See, what you got to understand though is if when they have the Olympics, where they have the Olympics, where the people gonna stay, that's where they was gonna stay. In
Where
Palisades, Bel Air,
right,
Hollywood, Westwood, all
right.
that. They
So
not staying in South Central LA. They was
right.
staying in, North Ridge, and they staying outside of the city, and then they busting them in for whatever meet they going to.
So there
Because
go
but
your answer.
nobody's so yeah, that sounds, when you think about it and you live out there and know that ain't nobody staying as Olympian, staying off no motherfucking Slauson, no motherfucking Vernon, no none of that
Right.
shit. They was going the
So
opposite way, homie. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And
So
USC is right on Hoover and fucking between Hoover and Vermont and motherfucking Martin Luther King, we used to be Santa Barbara in the freeway.
yeah.
You're not gonna stay nowhere in that, and they don't have enough for USC campus to house everybody there. So they're gonna be outside in the valley
So they go
somewhere.
that's your Olympic Village, because that's what they built in Atlanta. They tore a whole housing projects down. They tore
Yeah,
down Techwood housing projects. You know what I'm
and make
saying?
that whole Olympic Village.
Yeah. And at that time, I want to say Techwood was the oldest housing project in America, bro. And they tore that bitch down to build some shit for the Olympics. You hear me?
Yeah,
Crazy shit. That's crazy.
Then this what people got to see. So with the three generals alone, they reporting that they three homes alone, they gonna get like 96 million in insurance.
but that
Three
shit
homes, bro.
in
96.
Palisades.
That's what they was saying, bro. They had three. It was three Ukrainian generals, and I checked it in like multiple places. But this the thing about it, bro. Think about it. For whoever is gonna be the ones that be the beneficiary of this money grab, if I was, let's say, one bedroom and a nice development that I built there, 1-2 bedroom loft or some shit like that. If it was the going rate, probably y'all should be high out there. So probably like what, 6 bands a month in that area for
Yeah,
some fly shit.
That sound
if
about
not
right.
more.
Hey, that shit might be 12 now.
Yeah, yeah. They paying three.
Man,
They paying 3 racks for 2 bedrooms in LA. So
for how much?
3,000 for a 2 bedroom.
That's
Yeah,
in the
Easy.
hood.
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's
In
in the
the hood,
hood.
huh?
That's in the hood, exactly.
That shit crazy. Boy, I'm so glad to be a Southern boy.
I'm glad to be in.
Well,
Hey, you know what I'm saying? For
you
sure.
know,
Shit.
Yeah.
if you don't mind me jumping in right now, um, Inglewood in Los Angeles, as everybody know, has been in a bidding war to become the sports capital of the United States. Period. Point blank. You go down there, you see where the Rams are playing, the Chargers are playing, where the Clippers are playing, where uh, the Lakers are playing, and for the past 15 years, I'd say USC has had the rights to eminent domain, the areas around the campus. So USC can go in and tear down pretty much anything that's around the campus that they see fit. Um,
They gonna wipe
th-
Inglewood out.
this privilege was given to them by the LA County supervisors. Um, and what you had was LA's last mayor um, really bumping head with butts out of Inglewood. And so it was really important to elect Karen Bass, who is an ally to, I mean, loosely allied to Butts. Now, how long the allegiance is going to stay, don't know. Um, but yeah, USC for a while has had the rights to eminent domain,
Well,
the
around
buildings
around
around the campus.
around USC, I remember when I used to stay right off 28th from the side, we used to ride our bikes up to USC before they opened 38th Street Market and all that little area around there. At that time, they didn't have barriers coming up Vermont. All them streets, once you pass the freeway, there's no entrance ways into none of those streets with them houses off the main street of Vermont or Hoover. You know what I'm saying? They blocked them all off. That's when they started that domain shit that we control all this area. We're not going to allow people to go. Really, they put them up around 84 when it was 83, 84 when they was having the first Olympics. So there was no getaway points during the Olympics.
All
if
local,
you robbed something, you couldn't get away.
all local governments, whether it be the county or city government or the state, has the right to eminent domain. If you guys remember the 105 being built, they took all of those houses.
Oh, yeah.
They just took them. And the 105 really goes from Cerritos basically to LAX. It's really a short freeway that was supposed to be an expressway for rich people to get from point A to point B and not have to take the 91 and not have to drive through Compton, Watts, and Long Beach. And then after they removed those houses, they sold them to people for $1. But you had to pick the house up and move it to a piece of land that you own. So there's a lot of trickery and a lot of things that cities can do. It doesn't have to necessarily be fires, but I'm not opposed to just like Libya, just like Egypt, there was operatives that went in there and told the people, hey, you need to overturn this government, and they went and did it. I'm not opposed to people going in and telling homeless people, you know what you should do. I'm not opposed to that.
Let me ask you a question. Is it a conspiracy that Altadena should have been the Altadena, that the fires shouldn't have hit if it started at the same time as the Palisades fire? Because if you think about all the fires that broke out, they broke out around richer white folks, right? The one that was in Northridge or whatever, the fourth fire, it was over nothing but mansions around there. Altadena is the only fire where it hit minorities, right? But that fire probably should have hit or was expected to hit around JPL and the Rose Bowl and La Piñata, and it moved over to the black area. But if it was meant like what Palisades got, then if they're trying to take a grab, they would have hit La Piñata, JPL, and everything around the Rose Bowl. That's just my
the Eaton fire was larger, right? The Eaton fire was larger.
I think the Palisades fire. I think the
Palisades
fire was larger.
Palisades fire was larger.
Yeah,
because they didn't give any press to the black people. I wonder why.
But let me say this though. Let me say this right here. What he talking about right quick. So what's on my mind? Like, you got to think what the Rose Bowl over there gonna do. That's money. Like, they ain't gonna kill that. That's messing with that college money, that TV money, all that. So they got to keep that sitting up there. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna have that destroyed. That's why I can understand why the fire probably skipped that area. That's how you I feel like that's how you know it got set. Because why not? Why would it not burned over there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's real shit. Hell yeah, real shit.
Hey, why was all the houses around Tom Hanks' house burnt except his?
He was out there greeting them. He was out there thanking the fire people.
Yeah.
You know, but did he have did he have paid firefighters? You know, some people were paying firefighters.
Goob, I'm finna fuck you up.
Go ahead.
What elite bloodline is Tom Hanks from?
With elite bloodline?
Yeah.
The UK?
He's a Rockefeller, homie.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
That I did not know.
Yeah, you learn something new.
Learn something new every day.
You know they changed their names, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's so many bro. It's so many so it's just like it'll blow your mind if you just start doing the research. You just gonna be stuck for like 3 days, like saying, damn. And all of this shit'll make sense, bro.
Right. What you think about? We had another topic that we was talking about, and it has to go probably with the should. What about reparations? What you think about that topic?
To what, like, so from what aspect? Because I tell you this, I've done figured out what the real reparations is, and that's niggas understanding what their real birthright is. But if you talking about like reparations that's gonna come from the United States,
Yeah, that's what they. You know,
That's what
I
reparations
guess.
is.
nah,
Yeah,
check it. Liz, check it. I'm being like, you know what I'm saying? I'm being rhetorical.
Oh, okay, okay.
If that's the case, bro, like if they ever did that, like let's say they say we finna give all these niggas $10 million. Well, they finna change the value of the motherfucking American dollar so crowded. US
Ooh, yeah, real shit, real shit.
on
I
the
told
world
you, boy.
economy,
yeah,
the
yeah.
where
Neighborhood
that shit
said
ain't
that
gonna be
shit.
worth nothing. You feel me?
Right.
Like these folks, bro. It's just like if you understand the ultimate battle of good and evil, like everything is always aimed at us because these people never want us to become what we once was again, bro.
Right.
So I mean, niggas could be as optimistic as you want to, man. The devil don't stop being the devil, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how I view it. You know, I'm all for it because I mean, when you just look at so much shit that happened to our people from not only just what was physically done, when you talk about spirituality, when you talk about language, when you talk about culture, when you talk about your true sense of self and understanding that everything that made these folks who they is all shit that they replicated from us. And then they learn how to do everything that we did because we taught them. When they say somebody was civilized, who was the civilizer?
Right.
So, you know, like I'm all for it, but to think that the devil gonna stop being the devil, I highly doubt it, bro.
I mean, they said for it to even fly, man, they need documented evidence that you come from a lineage of oppression. You know what I mean? It has to be documented for them to actually validate it for reparation. That's the only reason why they didn't dig into it. And like you said, if they did pay out that many motherfuckers millions, it'll stir up the economy straight up. It would definitely have a financial impact in the economy, man. You know what I'm saying?
It'll
But
be over, bro. Like
yeah,
it'll it'll be because see you can't put the creator in the position to be able to economically control their creation.
I just don't know how they would gather that evidence, though, man. You know what I'm saying? To gather that evidence that your lineage comes from slavery and you actually oppressed, your lineage was actually in that shit. There's a lot of black folks who have lineage that black folks straight from Africa that weren't even in slavery. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how they would even sort that out. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of documentation from different plantations and censuses and stuff like that they could prove that certain people was enslaved. you know, so that wouldn't be that hard to do.
Yeah,
But
for some people, I'm talking about as a whole, as a general, for everybody. You know what I'm saying? For it to be
but
fair.
yeah, it would be, you know,
Well,
but
well,
that's a large part. What few people realize about slavery, a large part of it, they didn't want to document, because they wanted to make sure they had a whole of the narrative and they painted the picture the way that they wanted it to, because about 90% of the people that ended up in bondage on plantations was actually indigenous people that was already here, that was Africans originally, that came to these shores way before any Europeans was here. And they was the product of lost wars, and then they was placed in bondage. The narrative about all of these people being brought from Africa to these shores is so inaccurate. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you just think about it like this, homie, when you look at the Bahamas, the Virgin Islands, Jamaica, all of them people that's in them regions, like for instance, the word Jamaica is actually in a Akan word, which the Akan people from Ghana, right? But the word Jamaica actually is Jamaica in the Akan language, and it actually means who left us. So they named Jamaica after the fact that some of them were brought there and left there. So most of the ships weren't making it here to these shores like they tell us. So, like, when we talk about the documentation, it's basically impossible to really have it all documented, because even when you talk about being brought here in international waters, that shit was illegal internationally. Very few people know that. But the Coast Guard used to patrol the waters to make sure people wasn't bringing slave ships to the Americas. So that's why so many stories about slaves being thrown off the side of boats with the chain still on. Because if somebody did have slaves on a boat and they saw the Coast Guard approaching them, they would just throw the slaves.
Throw them
In,
out like cargo.
yep, so they wouldn't get caught.
That's wild
Hey,
shit.
Yeah, so it just like when we start unpacking all that shit, bro, it's so much that they didn't tell us, you know. And unfortunately, you know what they say: if you want to hide something from a nigga, where you put it,
in a book.
book, nigga.
you know. So few of us actually read and research and try to figure shit out. Like, I'm one of them. Like, ever since I was a kid, bro, I was always the nigga that was gonna be like Toto on the Wizard of Oz. I'm going behind the curtain to figure that shit out. Like, who is this nigga back here
If
Yeah.
they
with
gave
this G
they'll
with this
give
GPS
reparations
boy?
and turn everything into crypto.
Yeah.
You hear Snoop gonna do a crypto party with Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gonna come out with a mean. He's gonna come out with a mean coin.
Yeah, I wouldn't even trust, like, I wouldn't trust anything, bro, in that regard, unless some folk gonna give me some silver or gold. You feel me?
Hey, I've been following that fucking that meme coin shit, man. Look into something called teddy bear. It's on the XRP, man. It's a form of cryptocurrency, man. Right now, it's at like 0.0001. You know what I'm saying? This is what they did with Bitcoin. It was literally that amount when that first shit started popping off. But right
Yeah, I've
now,
been
man,
on
they're coming out with so much cryptocurrency, man, in different forms of it. Look into this shit called meme coin, man.
looking to
And this
something
shit
called Pi. I got this
was
Pi app. I just sent it out, and it's
you
supposed to
said
hit the main net
you said Pi
sometime
app.
this. Yeah, it's called Pi, and it's supposed to hit the main net first quarter of this year. You know what I'm saying? So I've been on the shit for damn near 2 years mining, and it's mining on your phone is different than what um, the other crypto was based. That was based off your computer. You know what I'm saying? What's the highest one right now?
Right now, Bitcoin is going strong
Yeah,
right now.
Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Well,
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin was used to mine that off your computer. Pi, you mine it off your phone. So y'all see in a few months, man. I've been on that shit for a couple years. I think that's gonna be the next. I think crypto is gonna come. I don't think our dollar is gonna last very long because it's gonna be interesting when this fool get into office. Is this ironic? Let me just ask y'all a question. Is this not ironic that this nigga is about to be the president of the United States on Martin Luther King's birthday?
Yeah, a
Every
felon, a
homie.
fucking felon, my nigga, a
A,
felon.
a felon.
Hey, but shit. Oh my bad.
Question.
But check,
Question. So
bro.
the whole panel thinks that there will be currency manipulation if black folks got reparations. The whole panel agrees with that.
I
If,
do.
if millions of people got $10 million a piece, if black
Yeah,
folks got $10 million a
yeah.
piece, hell
They'll
yeah,
fuck the dollar off.
it would impact the dollar. I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Everything's gonna skyrocket in price, my nigga.
Because they're not just
Everything.
gonna do it for that.
Nah, they gonna make it where you're not gonna get all the money. They're gonna make it hard for you to have the money. They're not gonna do nothing like skyrocket no price. They're just gonna make it. You can get it, but you're gonna have to go through so many loops and turns, and they're gonna give you so much time to get it. You're gonna lose it. You ain't everybody not gonna get it. They're gonna do something to make it hard. They ain't just gonna give it to you.
But let's
Even
say he's saying if
great.
it was granted. He's saying if it was granted. Let's say
Yeah, but
let's
they
say
still
10
gonna.
million people got $10 million a piece. You gonna sit and say it's not gonna cause a recession?
Nah, it wouldn't
Um,
cause a recession. Nah.
yeah, I don't know if it would cause a recession because we really don't own much as black people that we can invest into ourselves.
Right.
We would give that money back. Here's what's funny. You're talking about global economy versus United States economy. And if you're dealing with global economy, then that's one form of currency manipulation. And if you're dealing with just the American dollar, that's another form of currency manipulation because dollars they don't transfer anymore because we've printed too many of them. Like the $100 bill, the $20 bill, the $50 bill, 5, 10 ones, those are promissory notes. I've given you $1. It really doesn't mean nothing. It just basically means that somebody else owes you $1.
It's actually a debt system. You
It's a
absolutely
debt, it's a debt system. So
got currency.
a dollar doesn't really equal $1, which is why they're pushing us to use debit cards, credit cards, because the banks aren't really changing hands of this money. It's just plus or minus. Okay, this is what you have in your account. This is what you don't have in your account.
Correct.
Um, because again, now we're getting into the Federal Reserve not being a part of the American system. But
Correct.
if we go back to slavery, okay, we know that black people came over the Bering Strait. That makes them Native Americans. We know that the Africans were seafaring people that traded, and they traded with the South and Central Americans, and they went home. This is how one group got tobacco and one group got corn. But the unfortunate part of chattel slavery, of I own you in perpetuity, that's how we find out who was actually enslaved, because all of us on this panel can go back to great grandma or great grandpa. Not grandma and grandpa, but great grandma and grandpa were definitely put into the census, and their parents were put into the census, and their parents were put into the census because when we were property, the ownership of us was something that created a level of status among certain people. So
Right.
I can go into the census and look at my grandmother, look at my great grandparents, and I could find who was a slave and who was a last slave, and who was born in Alabama and where at what point in time. Now, if you're going to give reparations for slavery, those funds should go to Africa, because Africa was robbed of doctors, lawyers, brilliant people. If you're going to give reparations to African Americans, give us reparations for the dope that you put in the hood, Mr. CIA, for Tuskegee experiment, for everything that we've launched and lost that you've torn down, where our identity as African Americans have been destroyed. There's a lot that we can get reparations for that
Oklahoma,
don't have to be
Georgia.
tied to Africa. If we don't,
Yeah.
because it's going to be very difficult to prove that a crime was committed against us in the world court through slavery. They know it happened.
That's what I'm
There's
saying.
records
Yeah.
of it. You can't see it, but we know you put dope in our neighborhoods. It's proven in its own paper, and it's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, and we got 1900, we got 1950. Correct me if I'm wrong. Cities in the United States. Every last one of them have drugs in them. Now, either the cartels are just that damn good at their job, and police departments are incompetent as hell, or somebody's dropping it off.
Yeah. I mean, this is why I say it would impact the economy, bro. Let's say reparations went fully through, it passed, and 5 million black folks were granted $10 million apiece. Let's get 100 black folks in one building, and we're all trying to buy a house for 100,000, and we all got $1 million apiece. Only one of us is going to get that house. So that same builder is going to sell that house next time around for double the price, just because they know who's buying it. That would actually cause an inflation, bro. Everybody would have money to spend, so therefore the fucking vendors are going to up their prices, where the common people who didn't get reparations will not be able to afford it. So it will cause a recession, in my opinion, man. It will literally impact the fucking economy if millions of black folks got $10 million apiece. Straight up. These niggas
I,
ain't stupid these days. Motherfuckers are gonna go straight to buying property. Period. Not no damn clothes and no cars. They're gonna buy property. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers them in school. You need property to live, bro. Like I'm in my 40s, man. I don't want to be fucking doing the same shit in my 50s, man. A lot of motherfuckers my age don't think about what they want to do in their 50s and 60s, so they ain't got to work. They didn't put money away. A lot of us ain't got 401ks. A lot of us ain't got retirements. That's why I advocate any motherfucking nigga get married, nigga. You need two incomes in one household just to survive in this goddamn economy, bro. Straight up. You need that motherfucking future money. So that's why I say if all of us got 10 million apiece, hell yeah, it's gonna impact the economy. Straight up.
that's interesting, because I think that so many of us um don't really understand money management, that we would be quick to hand that money right back over. Yeah, I know when we in our 40s, 50s, yeah, we looking at home
Hey,
ownership.
can we ask you
Um,
this? What happened with the PPP loan? How many motherfuckers
right
F
now
that shit up?
they going after people who got the PPP loans and
Did they not? Did they
filled
not?
out false paperwork.
Did 90% of them not F that shit off
Yeah,
when
they
they
did.
got it? You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be the same thing with reparations. They're gonna F that shit off.
I
It's
got more
just
belief though. I got more belief in a lot of folks that they're granted for 10 million. I do believe a majority of black folks will get property, my nigga. I do believe that.
Yeah. I wouldn't even necessarily to say what it's gonna be gonna get, but I think that the demographic is changing a lot as far as like brothers and sisters that become more financially aware.
Yeah,
Like,
a lot of people are waking up. Like, yeah, my
yeah,
fault. Go ahead, brother. A lot of people, everything is rising, my nigga. From the rent to everything, nigga, is rising, bro.
yeah,
I mean, out here, you come out to Phoenix, just like y'all niggas are saying, off the 10 from 7th Street, 16th, it's homeless motherfucking villages, nigga. It's villages, bro. Everyone is becoming homeless now, man. I know a
Wow.
motherfucking nigga that I know that been working at Walmart. He split up with his wife, nigga. That nigga had no choice. Now he's at a shelter. This nigga was living in an apartment. It's becoming normal, nigga, to be homeless
yeah.
or relying on the government for some sort of shelter. It's becoming the norm, and it's going to intensify in the future, bro. If these motherfuckers keep going up in prices, man. You
Why
know what
you
I'm saying?
Bill Gates buying all the land, homie?
That's
That's
why I feel a
that's
lot of folks with granted millions, dog. They will buy property. They would have to. They'd be stupid not to, my nigga.
They gonna be. I'm with Omar. They're gonna get that money back. They gonna get
but
that money back.
they
You can't even get. You
I,
listen. I'm gonna show you something. Why I know they'll get most of the people gonna get that money back. You can sit in and devise a plan right now and say, look, if all us combine our families together, go get one big house, and at the end of the year we all can have $1 million, we won't even make it 6 months.
I
You
don't
make
know, bro.
You
How
saying
many
the majority of black folks
families?
to do that?
How many people?
you go get. I'm just saying you get 6 families, right? Just say we all get 6 random families. Say, look, y'all go get this house together, live in one big house together, and at the end of the year, all of y'all gonna have $1 million you done saved up. They won't make 6 months. They'll
Oh, you
be
mean between
complaining
like the
about who
bickering
ate
and
food,
the
who ate my food, somebody from the store buying some Gucci and some cars. They're gonna start taking trips. It's gonna be a lot of mismanaging the money.
I don't know,
Because
bro.
we talking about this. If you talking about somebody know how to manage money and conscious, yeah, they not gonna do that. They see the
But
bigger
what
picture.
but what I'm saying though, bro, is like from a spiritual standpoint, like shit changing for our people. Like
True.
niggas is really like think about it, bro. 15, 20 years ago, we wouldn't be on no live stream or in no room,
Yeah.
talking about this type of shit that we talking about at the type of it's 11:11. Wow, that's crazy. It's
Right.
11:11 where I'm at on a Friday night, nigga. Like niggas wasn't having these type of conversations, bro. Come on, man. Like
Talking
so
about stocks, cryptocurrencies and shit.
yeah,
Nah, niggas
yeah,
are advancing, bro.
yeah. Like now niggas really know what the Federal Reserve System is and that this money that we was willing to take penitentiary chances for at one point in our life and all these different things that it's like they took away the physical chains and they made everybody debt slaves through this money system.
Man,
Right.
look at you,
And it's
real
like,
nigga. You was locked down for how long? You came out and you got into your own shit, nigga. You running your own shit. You became constantly aware on your own, financially aware on your own, man, because where you came from. Look at my nigga Goob. He on a mic, man, rocking on a motherfucking Friday night. Like this nigga saying, bro, we are advancing, and a lot of us are becoming aware, bro. So I do feel what you're saying. A lot of them would
yeah,
fuck it off. But I do feel there's a good strength of them that would literally be like, fuck that. I need property. I need to look out for some
yeah,
shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
and it's always somebody that looks like us that's connected to somebody that don't look like us that becomes an agent provocateur and hitting a hard reset on black ignorance. And I'm speaking specifically of Adam 22 and that bullshit they do over there. The
yeah,
the the we are going to bring we were stomping out gangbanging.
yeah,
It was played. It
yeah.
was done.
I don't
Nobody
blame
was
him. I
doing
blame
it.
all the motherfuckers that go on this show and allow it. You know what I'm saying? I don't
And
blame
they
him.
go on this
He
show
making a
and they
mockery of black folks
glorify
and
these,
gangbanging. He making a mockery of it and getting rich, my nigga. But the black
you know
folks
what
that
I'm
are
saying?
allowing it, they're the ones that are guilty.
Hold on. But
And we
you know what's making niggas rich on this YouTube is confrontation
and controversy.
and
And
controversy.
controversy.
Anything. I mean, if we have a show right now and the 5 of us just bust out and start saying, fuck each other, whoop, 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 nigga, you not from here, you not from this, you not from that. I guarantee you my numbers will jump up.
Which is fucked up
Motherfuckers
Right.
because I ain't gonna lie, I indulge in that shit. I indulge
what
in
I'm
shit talking and running my mouth, especially when I get drunk. You're right. It does
you
catch
know,
attention.
Yeah, I'm not me personally. I've been one to try to stay whatever my platform. Like I say, most people know, as you can see, my two little homies sitting here. Nigga, I fuck with these. I like to talk about that. I like to talk about anything outside of bullshit that I used to go through. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't bring nothing but animosity back to me when I think about some of the shit that done either happened to me or I done been into in my past.
Already.
So I don't like to talk about that. That shit is cool and all that. Nigga, where we going now? What can I set forth for my kids? What my kids gonna go past me? What them niggas gonna do? What kind of knowledge can I give them? You know what I'm saying? To make it pass for their next generation. Because, nigga, we not gonna be here. If you got kids, that's where you should put a lot of your energy to, making them understand whatever you might understand, whatever your factual basis is, or whatever your thinking is, so they can think in the next generations coming for them. Because we not gonna be here for that. You know what I'm saying?
We have. How can I put this? There are people that are groomed to be in our way. The California Black Assembly had the opportunity to put a reparations bill on Gavin Newsom's desk and say, do something. And they had every black person in California cheering. I mean, they've been talking about reparations in California for 10 years. And when it was time to put a bill on Gavin Newsom's desk, it was the Black Assembly that said, no, we're not putting no reparations bill on his desk. It'd be too divisive. For what? Too divisive for what?
Yeah, you talking about pro opposition, bro.
They groom who they want. They groom the black people that they want to be our leaders.
Correct.
They groom the people that they want to say, shuck and jive. No, sir, I'm not going to do that. Would you like some more tea, sir? And right when we get to the 1 yard line and it's time to score, these bastards, they trying to throw the ball in the end zone. You know how hard it is to throw the ball in the end zone when you on the 1?
Right.
You got to run that shit in. Well, I didn't know it was going to get intercepted. You knew it was going to get intercepted. You don't throw a ball from the 1. You shouldn't be a coach if you throw a ball from the 1. You put your head down and you run it in. But they don't allow those of us who have an understanding of Black history, who we are and what we are supposed to do and be. But you know, when I got my first degree, criminal justice, because I wanted to understand why this happens to us in our system. But I felt like that wasn't enough. So the master's degree is now in public administration, because I need to know how I get my people out of this. That wasn't enough. So now I'm doing a PhD in business.
That's what's up, nigga. That's what's up, brother.
Because I'm seeing that I'm not ready. I'm not saying I'm not ready to govern, but I'm not ready to govern a bunch of niggas, because niggas bring problems.
Where you at?
Everyone
Where you
got
at,
their
bro? You in
own
Cali?
attention. I'm in Cali, but right now I'm in AZ. I
Okay,
have a
I'm out here
special
now.
treatment that I have to get in AZ,
Okay,
which
I'm
is
in
why I'm out
Phoenix.
here.
I'm in
Oh,
Phoenix.
okay.
And I'm
I'm
in
in
Mesa.
Supply.
I've been telling Jay Solid, nigga, I'm in Mesa for I don't know how long. That nigga don't say shit about it. But
Man,
it's
I'm
all
pulling
good,
up.
my nigga. I
I'm
always
pulling up
go
on. I'll
through
be in the
Phoenix,
mix every.
Cali.
No lie, Goob. I'll be in the mix every goddamn day,
Yeah.
nigga, in and out. But I'm gonna
And
fuck with you,
so
bro.
my nigga Omar moved to AZ, stayed right around the corner from me. I've been knowing Omar for shit. What?
Almost 30 years.
Almost 30 years. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, yeah. You know.
Omar, you out there
Pop
in
is
Mesa
cool
too?
on me, by the way. No. Surprise.
Oh, you right down the street from
What's
me,
up?
man. Shit, I'm in Avondale.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you're not far. I mean, I
yeah.
listen, my mouth is big. I ain't hard to find.
Yeah.
You know, just follow the nigga that's loud and don't get nobody else the opportunity to talk. That's my house.
Hey man, my sister was telling me about this book she was reading, man. It was the anatomy of it's the anatomy how African Americans think, how we're pre-genetically disposed to move how the way we move. And one of the examples she gave me, the reason why the majority of us, I know every race fucks around with different women and cheat on women, right? But it's just natural for niggas to do that type of shit. It's because we are pre-genetically disposed to do it. And what she told me from what she read, back in the slavery days, we were mandated to fuck different types of women to breed.
Take off
You know
your
what I'm saying?
cam, Omar. Everybody else got theirs off.
Yeah,
I
that's
pop mine up. I was doing something. I
Oh
forgot.
no, I
All
since
right.
everybody that's how the
Oh
look
yeah.
is. We
I'm
just had to
old.
look. Okay, well I'll stay
He
on
said,
with you.
yo.
No,
I
What
I
would
stay
you
mean
on.
I can't see
I
that shit.
stay
I
on
gotta
with
put my
you.
glasses on if I'm
No, I didn't mean to
gonna do
fuck off
that.
the conversation, but go ahead, finish what you were saying.
No, no. What I'm just saying is a lot of us are programmed genetically. We don't even fucking know it. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Right,
the whole that was the whole synopsis of the book. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are programmed to naturally just be with other women, even when we have a woman at home. A lot of us are just programmed to fucking do wild shit to each other. We are pre-genetically programmed to do it, is what this book is trying to sit and say. You know what I'm saying?
and
From those days.
check this out, Jay Solid. Let me just bring a example of that. Right, I was trying to fuck with you a long time ago when you was fucking with them people, and somebody cut in and say, "Don't fuck with that nigga right there."
I remember Britannia cutting it.
Yeah, and I was like, "Damn." I was just trying to fuck with you like us. I'm a cool motherfucker. Woo woo. I don't fuck with them niggas. But I go so far back, as neighborhood real know, of not fucking with that nigga a long time ago. And I've been out the way. But if I
But see,
find
what you
somebody
don't
that's
even
legit,
mention that no matter what they said that day, I still fucked with you, my nigga.
yeah.
Automatically.
After
I
and
never
you had to
was.
find out.
I didn't
You know
go on
what I'm
no
saying?
bandwagon like a lot of them did, but I remember
Right,
that day.
right. But I'm just bringing that up to say what you were saying about us being programmed as it's like this. When I first met Omar's from the other side of the tracks. He's from your side of the tracks. Me and Omar never had no motherfucking. I just fuck with Omar and he know it. You know what I'm saying? But I know what he is, nigga. Haru. You know what I'm saying? So and he knows why I say it, and I say it that way. But we've always been cool, homie. You know what I'm saying? It's the individuals that you cool with outside of all the bullshit. See, we always want to put the bullshit in first before we even know what an individual is like. We want to put the color, the gang banging, the you know what I'm saying, the short, the tall, the dark skin, the light skin, all this shit in before we even know the fucking individual.
Very
We
good
are
example.
programmed
Very,
like
very
that.
good example. Even from the days of banging, nigga, we were banging on each other. I'm banging on
Yeah,
nigga quick before I banging on SA or Asia, nigga. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
You know,
Real
I,
quick.
I've
Exactly.
I've never I've never put too much stock in the whole Crip blood Pyru thing. Okay. That's my jurisdiction. That's where I was born and raised. However, quick rundown. Max Factor brother Jake Factor gave $3 million to the person who built First AME Church. He lost that $3 million. Jake Factor, who was the biggest donor to John F. Kennedy, turned around and gave that pastor $5 million. Out of that $5 million, they made Camp Factor Brookins. Camp Factor Brookins was before CYA. Camp Factor Brookins was ran by Bob Simmons. Bob Simmons was the bodyguard for Malcolm X. Malcolm X had a house in Compton. When Malcolm was killed, Bob Simmons moved to Compton. Bob Simmons taught for Compton Unified School District, but he left because he didn't like the fact that the white teachers were being pushed out for black teachers, and this was a black man that did that. So, that's another story between how he might have fallen out with Malcolm X. Compton used to be Compton Union Schools before it became Compton Unified School District. When it became Compton Unified School District, they bust in people from Los Angeles County to Compton after they made Camp Factor Brookings, where the Crips officially formed. Raymond Washington and Tookie Williams actually met. The county started buying houses in the city of Compton, and those houses were group homes. They would bring in people from LA County into the group homes, and most of those guys were Crips, and they turned a lot of the original sets that were just sets that weren't Crips into Crips, and this is how this whole thing started. So for me, the understanding that the federal government put money into our destruction, I will put you down as a black man first and respect you as a black man first. I don't really, if I find out where you from later on, okay, cool, that's where you from. But I'm going to look at you as my brother first, because I know the history of how this started. And I know that Raymond Washington commandeered 3 buses, hopped the fence at Centennial High, and they beat up everybody at Centennial High School. And the guys from Piru Street came across the Centennial High School because they went to school there. A fight broke out, and that is how the Pirus started fighting against the Crips. And again, if you don't put $8 million into the destruction of the black community, it does not happen. How many brothers could be living alive right now today if Jake Factor, the brother of Max Factor, the makeup guy, doesn't give $8 million for them to build Camp Factor Brookings? How do we rectify? Okay, now we have this information, but we are still going to have loyalty to our neighborhoods. We are still going to have loyalty to where we come up and what we belong to. But we have to understand that all of this was done on purpose. Nobody got a wild hair up their ass one day and said, I'm about to solidify and unify all of these gangs to go mess with some other brothers. You understand? And it's a completely different mentality that you have to reject that programming and say, this is my brother first. I got issues. I listen to Ayatollah Marv, who I know very well, and he says there are no Pirus in Compton. No Bloods in Compton, only Pirus. I beg to differ. Blood is a call sign. Everybody's hood is everybody's hood. You Piru and you and your Piru set, but when you are locked up, according to Baba Louie, according to AC, according to Puddin, according to Nardi, they was getting jumped on as individual sets because it was more Crips. So they sat down and united these sets between Compton and Los Angeles and said, well, we gonna call ourselves Bloods. That don't mean you stop being bounty hunters. That don't mean you stop being Anthony's Park. That don't mean you stop being the Brims. It was a jail thing. So, and my point of what I want to bring it back around to is we always find a way to unify. I could only wish that when them brothers was in CYA fighting and trying to figure out how to balance the terms of engagement against some other black men, that they would have had the wherewithal to say, we black first. And there would be so many of us that would still be here. So I was telling you, neighborhood, the story. When I met Anthony, he came to my house in Compton. That house was in neighborhood Piru. and he kicked my ass in chest in 4 moves. 4 moves. I just thought he was a gangbanger that came over. And I was like, no way he's going to beat me. He beat me down in 4 moves. And I said, there's no way you coming in my daddy's house and whooping me in 4 moves and leaving. Then he beat me in 10 moves and left. But we've been solid ever since. And if I see that you are a black man that wants to pursue excellence through being black, I don't give a damn what you are. I'm gonna be with you 100%. But I could tell you, the government don't want me nowhere in politics because I know how to fix it. But right when we get to putting all of this stuff down, let me tell you something. The 92 riots, when we had the truce, we started seeing stuff on the wall that made no sense. Like, what set is that crossing out that set? What set is that crossing out? We couldn't read nothing on the walls. You know why? Because it was the police writing it.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
the police was writing stuff on the walls to try to get us to keep it going. So when I see these young people, these young people watching, huh?
No, I was going to say what you were saying about the riots is the same way they swept in '84 to get a gangbanger off before them Olympics. Just imagine what they finna do in 2018.
Listen,
they
let's
finna
be
clear
honest.
That whole 50 yards, you know what I'm saying? 50
let's
miles.
Let's be honest. Because we talking about reparations here.
Or they gonna burn some shit down, Goob.
Yeah.
Listen, the 92 riots, Sue John Doe shot Latasha Harlins in the back of the head. And those people swore that they didn't understand why those Korean stores was getting burned down. What black people didn't understand is when you in Korea, you got to join the military. So the people that were shooting at us was military. They was military. Now our president take an oath of office. They should have been helping us. You got ex-foreign military shooting at American citizens. They call them rooftop Koreans and say that's when they got their swagger. We got a whole lot we can get reparations for. They let that woman go home and she went right back and opened up her liquor store. What did they expect was going to happen?
Yeah, that's the thing. But I don't think we'll ever get reparations.
I don't think so either.
I think we'll get reparations.
Who's gonna get it? I don't think everybody. Okay, first of all, you got to say. So, what generation they giving it to? Right?
Yeah.
Are you giving it to the ancestors of the slave?
That's what I was saying. The sorting out process is going to be a bitch. My fault. Go ahead, bro.
It's going to be a.
Okay, so slavery was 200 years. We'll say America's 200 years old. Slavery's 200 years.
Right, but okay.
A generation is considered 10 years.
No, that's a decade. A generation is 100 years.
But look. Once you have to first find out. Hold on. When you first have to find out if your ancestor was enslaved at all.
That's what I'm saying. The lineage, they have to trace the lineage to see if you were actually, if your lineage was oppressed and caught up in slavery. The data to find that is impossible, in my opinion, my niggas.
Yeah, that's
how would they sort that out? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what Omar's saying though, if you listen to what he's saying, it make a lot of sense that we don't even have to incorporate the transatlantic slave trade to get reparations. If you just talk about all of the atrocities that we know was targeted on our community, like the crack epidemic, like Tulsa, Oklahoma, Oscarville, Georgia, Rosewood, Florida, what was the shit that happened in Philly? The move.
When they dropped up in Philadelphia, when they dropped the bomb on the apartment complex, killed them little girls.
Yeah, move John F. Like it's so much shit that done happened to us that's fucked up that we
Now I
can
see
talk about.
now I see where y'all going with that.
No, but no, hold on. I'm gonna stick on your point though, Goob. And what I was trying to say earlier, yes, those atrocities did happen to the community. But what I am trying to sit and say is, for the government to allow this to pass, it's gonna be a lot of intricate detail put in place to favor motherfuckers getting funded. I'm telling you, it's not gonna be, oh, okay, you were here during the crack epidemic, so the Smith family gets 10 million. Oh, okay. Ray Vaughn gets another 10 million. No, nigga, they're gonna look into deep detail. They're gonna look into a paper trail and see if you are qualified to get the reparation. Is what I'm saying. They're not gonna just grant it because we were around during these times, nigga. There's a lot of black folks that's not gonna get it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We didn't say everybody was gonna get. I was just making the point.
I'm gonna say this. In modern times, right? Like we're gonna start. Let's say we start at the 70s. A lot of people gonna get some money.
Yeah,
it's all that documented, all that documentation. Just like I know what OMAR was going with it. It's just like he's saying, when you take all these different incidents and you wrap them up into that, a lot of people gonna get paid because it's documented. If you went to jail for any of this type of stuff, you're gonna get paid.
Yeah,
you're gonna get paid. If you got on probation, you lived in the community over a certain amount of years, whatever the case, like
your property value,
it's gonna be so much documentation for that it's gonna be easy to get the money. Now, if you're talking about going all the way back to a plantation, some of that stuff is gonna be documented. They got a lot of that documented. And what they're gonna do is make you go through jumps, hoops, and walls to get it though. You're gonna get it harder to get that than you would get something more up to date.
Hold on. I think this is what y'all are missing, bro. I mean, I don't know if y'all looked into it. The reparations bill will not pass. They said for it to literally pass and for motherfuckers to even be qualified for it, they have to look up your lineage and you have to have documented evidence that your lineage, your ancestors were oppressed by slavery. It doesn't matter about the crack era or this other stuff that y'all talking about. I'm talking about reparations only will actually pertain to people that come from a lineage of oppression. Period. You have to have ancestors that were documented slaves for you to get reparations this day. It don't matter about the crack era and all that, bro. It pertains to slavery. Our
What I'm
rights,
saying,
reparation is granted to people whose rights were literally taken away. That's who reparations go to.
What I'm saying to you, brother, is we can separate the slavery if we wanted to say we deserve reparations as African Americans. We have other things post-slavery that we can look at that are atrocities, because every person that takes the oath of office, in that oath of office, especially the presidency of the United States, it says to protect and defend the citizen of the United States from enemies, both foreign and domestic. And from that alone, we have things post-slavery that we can look at. Now, again, like I said, if we were just going to go from the slavery, a generation, you said generation is 100 years. My understanding is a generation is 10 years.
It's 10 years.
But I don't know anymore, because you got Gen Z, which is for 50 years, and you got Gen X and Gen Y, and everybody now you got millennials, and those are all 10 years apart. You have the United
You're
States
probably
is
right. I
200
probably
years
got that part
old,
wrong.
roughly. The United States is 200 years old, roughly. So if we just take 10 years as a round number, that means everybody from 90 years old to 1 year old is getting paid if you black. Now that you narrowed it from 90 years old to 1 year old, now you got to say, all right, let's look at a number. What is the federal amount for minimum wage? We're going to take the federal amount of minimum wage and we're going to multiply that by this number of years. Now, what was the average age of a slave? Some places say the average age of the slave is 60 years old. Some places say the average age of the slave is 30 years old. So if I got whatever the federal government say is the minimum wage times 30 years, because that's the age of a slave, then I'm going to get 30 years of minimum wage untaxed to me for the 90-year-olds, the 80-year-olds, the 70-year-olds, the 60-year-olds, the 50-year-olds on down. You take the average age of a slave that's alive to death, and you multiply that by a number. And that number has to be something that makes sense and is quantifiable. It can be plugged into the equation that makes sense. Because you can't say I'm going to pay one person for 200 years because their lifespan ain't 200 years. You got to take the lifespan of the person picking the cotton. Now, the problem with that theory is when you say minimum wage is hourly, and we understand that when you were picking cotton, they went by pounds. But if you say we're going to go hourly from 6 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock at night, then that's 12 hours. You got to multiply that minimum wage by.
I get you on that, but what I'm saying is for the foundation of reparations. I'm not trying to stir the topic, brother. What I was under the assumption of reparations related to slavery. Period. Nothing else. You have to be. You have to have a lineage coming from slavery. It has to be documented that your ancestors were caught up in slavery. Reparations is literally settling a debt to people whose rights were fucking taken away from them. Niggas came over here, they were forced to be slaves, forced completely. That's what reparations, in my opinion, what I thought, not my opinion, is what I thought it was about. I understand where you're going with it, but what I'm saying, I thought that's what reparations is related to slavery. Is it not?
No. The people who are trying to put together reparations, the people, the black administrators that we call our governance, say reparations for slavery. They have never thought reparations for anything else. But let's look at that. Let's look at that. The Japanese got reparations for being in internment camps, and they was only in internment camps for 4 years. I'm not saying only because it didn't mean anything, but World War II, they were in internment camps. And they got paid for that.
So the
We
people from
pay.
Holocaust got reparations?
And the people from the Holocaust got reparations from the United States, and they got reparations from the United States because the United States said we took too long in getting there. We sorry we didn't come over there and kill Hitler and the Nazis earlier. Here's some money. And they got a country that just so happens to be beachfront property.
Maybe I got to look at the definition of reparations, brother. I mean,
No. I
okay.
mean, reparations is to repair any type of damage that's done to a person or communities of people.
Okay. There we
So
go.
we can
Okay.
use slavery, but we can also use, again, if we say Black Wall Street was just as atrocious as locking up the Japanese during World War II, we have reparations. If we could say the CIA put dope into the hood, and the reason why we can't understand these damn rappers right now today is because they children are the children of crack babies, so we can't understand what the hell they saying. That's reparations right now today, because guess what? You brought this here. We didn't ask for it.
But see, bro,
You
that's
brought
why I
this here.
disagree. That's why I disagree.
That's the Iran Contra affair. That's the
That's why.
Iran Contra affair where they said we gonna put this in your neighborhood because we have a vested interest in the Contras, and we are going to send money to Iran. Iran's going to send guns to the Contras, and the Contras is going to send dope to the United States. I don't know any Crips, Bloods, Perus that could fly a plane from Nicaragua and evade radar and come over to the United States.
I don't.
We wasn't
I don't see that compared to slavery though, man. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers, when crack came
No,
into the
I
communities,
understand.
a majority of us had the choice to fuck with crack or not. But a lot of motherfuckers, the majority, did not have a choice of slavery, bro. They were forced into it. So
I don't
therefore,
think
your
that we
rights were
had a choice.
violated.
I don't think that's true though. I don't think that's true. I don't think they were forced to. You got a choice. You didn't have to go out there.
What you mean with slavery? You didn't have a choice of slavery?
Listen. I'm gonna say this. I locked up, bro. And where I was at in Texas, that's what they was doing. We go out in the fields 5 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the evening. You go out there if you want to. Like you got repercussions for it. But I mean, like at the end of the day, I can't. When I used to be out there, I used to be thinking to myself, I done pick cotton. I know what that shit like.
I'm talking about the
So
beginning of the time, my
so
nigga. I'm
you
talking about
think,
the
but
beginning
I'm
of
still,
time.
but listen, at the same mentality, they still just like us. How we think today, we just more modernized. But at the end of the day, you still got a choice to go out there and say, man, I ain't got to do this. They ain't have to go do it. They just did it. You know what I'm
A
saying?
nigga at 1925 ain't got a choice. You do it or you're dead.
But
Period.
they weren't gonna kill everybody because then they lose their money. How they gonna run their plantation? So
They'll
they
run
can't
their
kill the
asses back to
property.
Africa and snatch up another group of niggas.
But you can't keep doing that if everybody lay it down. Somebody gonna like that shit. Ain't gonna work. So you got to be smarter than that. You gonna have to punish some people, and there's gonna be some people that didn't work. I promise you. At some point, that ain't in history. You will never read it. But everybody wasn't going out there doing that. They were like, "Fuck that! You got to kill me. We running off." So that's why they had them patrols. You got to think, why did they even create the patrols anyway? What was they needing them for if the people was just doing what they supposed to do? They wasn't. They so scared they ain't gonna run off. So why were they doing that? So
Back
that
in
lets
the
you know right there they wasn't going for it. It was a lot of people wasn't going for it.
Back in
They
them
just,
days of Jim
Yeah.
Crow, even before Jim Crow, bro, black folks didn't have a say so in shit.
but you still
Period.
don't have to go do it though. I ain't got
If
no
you
say,
don't
but I
do
don't
it,
have
you
to
suffer
do it.
consequences. You suffer punishment. All right, it's a
That's
lot
cool
different when
though.
you were locked up, my nigga.
But listen, I'm
It's a
saying
different.
this. Okay, I'm saying this from a personal point. I used to be in the fields. When I get up in the morning, if I feel like I don't want to go, fuck them. I already know where I'm going. I'm going to lock up. What's worse than what's gonna happen? I'm just going to lock
Okay,
up.
in Jim
I'm
Crow
already
days, you tell them fuck you, they'll be like, all right, you're dead.
okay. That's
Period.
cool. I was out here risking my life anyway. You know what I'm saying? What's the trade-off? Like, it's still at the end of the day, I didn't do what they said.
You gotta
So
no.
you feel
Hey,
what I'm
stop.
saying?
You gotta imagine that there was some motherfuckers that said, "Nigga, I'm tired of this shit. I'm not doing no more.
I'm
Yeah.
Nigga,
pretty
I'm
sure it
running."
was. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm
You know what
not
I'm saying?
doubting that. I'm not doubting that. But what I'm saying is reparation is pertaining to them days, bro. Of course, there was a couple motherfuckers that were rebellious. Of course. But the
Right.
overall norm during slavery, you complied or you die. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot different from being locked up 10, 15, 20 years ago, bro. I'm talking
No, they
about
not.
back before Jim Crow, back in the
They
fucking
wouldn't.
30s and
They
40s.
might listen. They might beat them in submission, but you're not gonna kill your your whole pant. You know your whole stock.
Mm-mm.
If
But the
every
point is,
nigga
it was
said, "I'm not
allowed.
gonna
It was
do it," I'm gonna
allowed
kill him.
back then, is what I'm
No,
saying.
they
It
would.
was it
They
was
just beat the
law.
fuck out of you. That's what they would
You
do.
know,
They would beat them.
that brought about the creation of the slave patrol, and the slave patrol became
Which
modern
turned
day
into police.
policing.
Yeah,
They
turned
became the
into
police.
police.
You
Yeah,
know,
they had to.
the only reason why I'm talking about this is because, like I said, you know, what's happening to black people right now is we're being squeezed out of everything. We're being squeezed out of everything. We really have. We have been replaced in the Democratic Party as the overwhelming majority by the LGBTQ community.
Mm,
And so you have a lot of black people who are foundational Christians
look,
who can no longer accept being a part of the
look,
Democratic Party
let me go off
because
your
they
thing,
can't accept,
Omar.
huh?
You know who they go for in the Democratic vote more than our votes now? They going for the Mexican, Tommy.
Well, that's again. That's what I was telling you about when we were talking about immigration and we were talking about homeless people. Here's how it works: the counties do not purge the voter roll. So let's say my grandparents had a house in the 70s, the 80s. They sold it. They did. But their names are still registered voters at that house. I can pull homeless people. This is what they're doing. And I could pull immigrants and I can tie them to that house. And because you don't need identification, I could send you to vote for whoever I tell you to vote for. And if you give these niggas 2 chicken wings and a biscuit, they are not going to question it. And this is why I was telling you the problem that we having is if your city is only 50,000 people, so you getting federal funding for 50,000 people, but you got another 50,000 in illegal immigrants and another 50,000 in homeless people, that's going to destroy your infrastructure because the federal government ain't giving you money for 150,000 people. They're giving you money for 50,000 people, and the federal government is not going to give you the money for that 50,000 illegal immigrants because the federal government says we don't recognize illegal immigrants.
For sure. Yeah.
And so,
Yeah. I agree with that.
and
For
so
sure.
you going to run out of water when it's time to put the fires out because you got 1 million extra people using that water that you're not getting money for. I'm going to pull my business out of California and move it down to Texas, where my rent in California for my building is $30,000 a month for 60,000 square feet, and now I'm paying $5,000 a month for that same 60,000 square
What you
feet.
just said is what John
Can you
Deere
get that?
did. You heard of John Deere? They moved to Mexico.
They
The
moved.
manufacturing
Everybody's
plant is in
moving.
Mexico. That's a big old country ass American manufacturing company. They moved to Mexico. John Deere. That's a big ass
Everybody's
white
leaving.
company, farmer company.
Yeah, cheaper
Everybody's
labor.
leaving. It's just like this. Okay, the reason why we getting salmonella poison, the reason why everything is we getting sick off of our fruits and vegetables is because we not putting legal people in the fields. If you don't have legal people in the fields, guess what you don't need? You don't need a toilet and you don't need running water. So where are these people going to piss and shit?
On the product.
On your lettuce.
Yep. On the product.
Right.
And you are going to get sick when you eat your lettuce because it ain't enough water in the world to rinse off piss. But if you take people who can't get jobs and you pay them and you only going out there for 4 hours, yeah, you got to pay them $17 an hour. But your lettuce ain't going to be $17. You know why? Because you got more people making $17 an hour that can now buy the lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a trade-off. But they got us believing the only reason why we putting these people in the fields is because ain't no American gonna go out there and pick no apricots. You a damn lie. You pay me $25, I'll go out there with my own ladder.
Yeah.
But this is what's happening right now is the Republicans are going to be the party of family and straight people, and the Democrats are going to be the party of homosexuality. That's where it's going. And
Yeah,
immigrants,
that's
that is
exactly where it's
where
at.
it is going.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't going to be able to elect a black woman. I don't care if it is Kamala Harris. Kamala, you didn't win because Barack, when people said he ain't black, they looked at Michelle and said she's black. If I don't trust Barack, I can at least trust Michelle. But when you looked at Kamala Harris and then look, Kamala don't have a Michelle.
She married to a white
Kamala
man.
got a Rick. So Kamala ain't gonna win. Because Ricky don't know my problems.
Yeah.
And that's just the
so
bottom line too.
Hold on. So since we done turned that corner, what you think this motherfucker gonna do?
And by the way, we in a battleground state. We in a battleground state.
We in a battleground
yeah.
state.
Yes,
But
sir.
listen, I think that the people who voted for Donald Trump are going to be woefully disappointed if they voted for him on the position of white supremacy, because white imperialism dictates globalism. See, they are the only people historically that go places and don't leave. Black people went to China. Black people came to the Americas. Black people went to South America. We all traded with each other and we got on the boat and we went home. White people got on boats and went places and stayed. And that is their thing. So if you think I'm going to make America great again by putting America first, you are woefully mistaken, because it goes against white imperialism, which dictates we are not happy unless we run this whole motherfucker. They not happy unless they run it all. There is not one cranny that they ain't went to, took over, fucked it up, left and said, we can't do nothing with it. It's a war-torn country. You was there stealing every damn thing. I was watching a video on YouTube, and there's this guy who goes around stinging himself. He finds the worst bugs that got the quote-unquote worst sting and bite.
Oh, Anonymous is a woman? I didn't know that. Okay.
He goes and puts the bugs on his arm and let him bite him. Shit, I told my old lady, this is why we need white people. Because we ain't doing that shit. They are willing to go. They want to take over everything to the point where they will go and find
explorers. They the natural explorers, my nigga.
Man, I mean, this dude had a wasp this big, bro. He caught it in a net, took it out. The wasp didn't even want to sting him at first. He's hitting the wasp up against his arm till it finally stung him. Then he rolled on the ground screaming. What did you think was going to happen? You had a 7-foot wasp?
That's a part of the genetic makeup. Natural explorers.
That's just, but we need somebody to tell us don't get stung by that wasp.
That's true.
Because we ain't doing it.
Hey, there's this white dude, man, I seen on National Geographic. This motherfucker goes out to the safaris, bro. He don't eat. He don't have water. What he does is he hunt animals. He hunts them and he kills them and he eats their flesh. He drinks out of the fucking rivers out there in the safari and shit. And it's just a personal fucking experience for him, my nigga. He wants to document it and give people the motherfucker and show people the experience of doing it on your own. I don't see the point of it, but a lot of people tune into it, nigga. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker's eating a zebra. He's eating zebra flesh right there, dog. Right raw.
What happened to the bear guy? The bear guy's dead, ain't he? Is the bear guy dead?
Yeah, he did.
He got ate by a bear?
So is the dude that went in the ocean, that kept jumping in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? He got hit by a stingray and killed him.
Killed him. Just like the National Geographic dude. I forgot his name. He was famous, man. He ended up getting like bit by something and he died.
Yeah.
What about the other dude that got stung by a stingray? And they had a whole TV show on him.
I think that's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah, that's
look up on hey bro, look up on YouTube. Man gets eaten by a lion. This is like in the 70s. This motherfucker is with his family, and it shows it graphically on YouTube, bro. He gets out of his vehicle. They in a safari in Africa, right? He's taking pictures of one lion, and another lion pops up out of nowhere and bites him, and the whole fucking family of lions tear this motherfucker apart in front of his family, bro, and eats him in front of his kids. It's on YouTube.
He got out
Just
the car.
Look up man gets eaten by lion.
He got out the car.
He got out of the car to take pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, he got out the car. Listen, that we need them. We need them to jump out of airplanes with parachutes to see. They need that life. Like we are, you know, we don't need that type of excitement. We see
Nah.
He
3
took
cops parked along the freeway. That's
crash
exciting
test
enough.
dummy work. Crash test dummy work, bro.
I ain't jumping out nobody plane.
Me
Man,
neither.
I'm not jumping up. What is this? Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to see what circumference of what is it, polyester or whatever it is that they
Yeah.
use to make a parachute. What circumference of this do we need to have? And how many straps on the body must he have to jump out of a perfectly good airplane?
Real
Leroy didn't
shit.
make it. Let's make it bigger.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Fuck that.
yeah, that's crazy.
I ain't doing it. So, all right, we didn't get to the UFO
All right.
thing.
Hey, let me go back and
Okay.
tell him this though. He was talking about that hourly wage. I had added it up earlier. Hey, they ain't number like every person to get $1,619,325. That's it.
Well, for
That's
how
all
many
you.
years?
If you said if the average slave lived 30 years, that's if the average slave lived on that plantation 30 years. So I did the math on it. That if you was related to that person, you would only get 1.6 million.
1.6 million. And if
Mm-hmm.
the average slave lives 60 years,
You shit,
It'll be-
we'll times that dope by 2, and it'll be you'll get 3.2.
$3.2 million.
Yeah. In this economy ain't shit.
Everybody would be buying a gas station's McDonald's.
Shit.
It'd be the McDonald's gas station on every corner.
That's probably right. Everybody get a meal. That's probably right. Shit.
a motherfucker will buy, you know what a motherfucker will do? He'll take that money and buy a house in the motherfucking woods where it get burnt the fuck up. In the
I'd
next,
buy me some property for a meal. Shit, I'll
I'm
buy me
moving closer.
something.
I'm moving out the country.
Listen, and here's the thing: no more taxes for us. We built Wall Street. We built the White House twice. You give us
Yeah.
the reparations and you can't tax it, and you can't tax us no more.
Yeah, that'll be a good move.
Because of the free labor. It was free labor. Why are you gonna tax me now?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just like when your older siblings would play big bank, take little bank, and they know that they got more money for lunch than you got because they older. You know, grandma
How,
give you
how,
$10. Grandma
how did you
would
come
give
up
you
with that
older sibling.
calculation?
What you
A
mean?
million, the million something. How did you do
He
that?
said he said use the minimum wage, right? What the minimum wage is,
And
and
what's the
then
minimum wage?
in California that shit like what is like $15.16 or some shit like that.
Okay.
So I just use both. Like in Texas, that shit ain't number like fucking $10-12.
Okay,
what,
so
what if they what if
the
they
minimum
did
wage
this?
times 12 hours.
Yeah,
So
Okay,
times
Minimum
how did
12
wage
you
hours.
times 12
multiply?
hours.
How did you come up with a
All
So
right, so
million?
look,
listen
he
to
said
this.
minimum wage. This how I did it. Minimum wage. I'm gonna just say it was 15. I said it was $15.15. So 12 hours a day, 12 times. You know what I'm saying? 7 days because they working every single day. Times 7 days. You know what I'm saying? And then you come up with that number. Then you times it by 4, right? And then you times that by 12, and then I times that by 30. That's how I came up with it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But what if they was
Okay.
using? But what if they was using minimum wage at the time that you was a slave?
There wasn't no minimum wage, so that'd be like, so we'll say like he go back to the pound then. So okay, go back to what he said when they was weighing cotton by the pound and they weren't they weighing they work by the pound. So
Yeah.
okay, so a cotton sack is 100 pounds. So if you picked 200 pounds that day or 100 daily, that's let me do the math on it. We'll say that's
Yeah.
700. We'll say you picked
I
100
mean,
pounds every day times 700. Took you 12 hours to do it, right? So that'll be weighed up.
96.
It won't be 96, it'll be 84. It's 8,400, right?
Okay, 84.
You know what I'm saying? Hold on. No, that's wrong.
Hell yeah, that's wrong. Them niggas
No,
get
that's
paid
wrong.
2 cents a day. They
No,
get two
that's
cents a
wrong.
day.
700. that 700 times 7, I did the wrong number. 7 is 49, right? So just say they did that for the whole month. That's what they came up with for the whole month. So you times that, you know what I'm saying, times 30.
What dollar amount is you putting on that?
You mean about 12 and then times that by 30.
What
Nah,
dollar
we're talking
amount is
about
you
30.
putting on?
Look, hold up, bro. I'm weighing. This is just the weight. So at the
Okay.
end, if you weighed it up, they picked 147,000 pounds in 30 years, right?
Right.
And then, so what you gonna times it against? Like what they getting? So how do we know how much they getting paid per 100 pounds? You see what I'm saying?
Per pound. Or per pound. How much they was getting paid per pound at that time?
Shit, that's hard to find. That yeah, that's interesting. That go to.
I mean, there's a couple ways we could do it.
Yeah.
Because they could have been getting paid 15 cents per 100 pounds. We don't know. It's just like a nigga working at the penitentiary, right? When you working in the penitentiary, nigga, you working for chump change.
Nothing.
Right? Nothing, nigga. You making what, 5 cents an hour or some shit?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna just say, for the sake of the conversation, we'll say they was getting paid, we'll just say $1.40, you know what I'm saying, per 100 pounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna just throw a number out there. That's 200, that'll be 205, 800, you know what I'm saying? So if you was to break that down over years times 30, that would be $6,174.
You know, the reason why I didn't want to just go by cotton alone is because there were other things that we were in the field picking. But let me put this in perspective, because we have to understand that the reason why World War I and World War II went the way it went for us is because of cotton distribution from the United States globally. We gained allies from it. We gained allies because around the world, 79% of all the countries around the globe got their cotton from the United States, which accounted for, let's see here, pre-Civil War, the United States sold $192 million worth of cotton before the Civil War. $192 million.
Right. And who picked that $192 million?
Well, we don't really know.
How much of that money went to the slaves? Not a damn thing.
None of it.
Wow.
In 1860, cotton exports were worth $200 million per year, making up 60% of all of the United States exports.
In 1916?
So without cotton going,
that's crazy.
Huh?
You said in 1916?
In 1860, cotton exports were worth $200 million per year, making up about 60% of all American exports. In 1850, the United States alone, the United States exported $72 million worth of cotton.
72 million back then, nigga. In these days, that be in the trillions. That's crazy.
So now we are in the United States. So when you pay me in interest as well.
Right.
You mean, but I don't.
Wow.
People are just saying we need reparations, but nobody's coming up with the math for it that would make sense. And I think if people came up with the math for it that made sense, it'll move a little bit further downstream, because once people saw how much money we gave to the Ukraine and we giving to Israel right now, there's no way you can't give money to people who are going to put it right back into the economy.
That's fucking crazy.
What part you think is going to get cut off when this new administration come in? Whose money is about to get cut off? Israel or Ukraine?
Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's really a proxy war. That's really a proxy war between Trump's son and Biden's son. Really. Right. Trump's son got interest in Russia and Biden's son got interest in the Ukraine, and that's really what you're looking at two countries fighting between these two families, and the
And what you
war's
call
going
him is,
on overseas.
and old boy is about to end that shit. He finna cut Ukraine the fuck off and let Russia, because them niggas gonna run out of motherfucking ammunition. They're gonna let Russia ride in there. Whatever Biden can do in his last couple of months, last couple of weeks, he better get that shit off. He better pardon all the motherfuckers from the DOJ. He better pardon a whole bunch of his motherfucking people that's on the Senate in the House. He better pardon all them motherfuckers. Because them niggas is going to jail when that nigga get in office.
Well, I think we might have UFO disclosure before that happens.
You think so?
I mean, we've already had it. We've already had it in a nutshell.
What happened to
You know what I'm saying?
all the drones over New Jersey?
Yeah, what happened? What happened to that shit? For real, what happened to it?
Just disappeared, right? They don't even talk about that shit no more.
Maybe they found what they was looking for.
Mm.
When I first saw it, I thought somebody parked a nuke in the United States. That's what I thought. Or there's a cluster of 30 bombs or something.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, because I figured the way that you don't scare the public is you definitely don't want to say, don't worry about it, they are drones, because then it's going to be like, well, what they looking for? People going to have questions. You know, I think it's best for them to just play stupid, because somebody will say, oh yeah, China parked a nuke in New Jersey and we trying to find it. We got intelligence. Man, people will go nuts.
Right.
People will go crazy. I just don't understand how. Huh?
I said, why nobody shot at one of them?
Nobody wants to go to the penitentiary.
They can't. They can't.
I mean, yeah, that's true too. That's true too.
Touch them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
How are they recharging? How are they recharging? How are they recharging?
Yeah.
How are they recharging?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as big as they are.
Right.
And then a triangle of line of sight. So regular drones, regular consumer drones, they use satellites for navigation. That's how they know. That's why DJI, the Chinese company, they scared, because if the United States say you can't use our satellites no more, then the drone can't fly because it doesn't know where to go. So the drone is pinging off the satellite and pinging to your controller. So they know where your controller is. These people don't even know where these things are being controlled from.
Shit crazy.
And they
like, if it's dinging off of a satellite, they should be able to figure out where its origin is, and it's not doing that.
I think they put them up there. I think the government, they preparing for something, because they've been having a lot of congressional meetings, and they've been live and talking about a lot of UFO sightings and the knowledge they have. They putting it all out there now. So it's just like, for those things to be popping up and nothing happened, what's getting ready to happen?
Yeah.
It's like they tested. Okay, let's see what kind of panic we're gonna get if we put these in the air, and what the people gonna do. Like I say, why ain't nobody shot him? Like, at least somebody would think, I'm gonna shoot at that sucker. I'm gonna shoot that down and see what it is. Right. Nobody shot at it. Like, nobody's shooting at them, and they try to knock them down to see what they are. Wow.
And that
would you shoot at a UFO, nigga?
If it was on my house, I go out there and pop at that boy right now. I want to see what's gonna happen.
That's the realest line in Independence Day. The realest line in Independence Day is when the newscaster says the government is asking Los Angelinos to please not shoot at the UFO.
Yeah.
Yeah, they right about that. I listen. As far as Bill
Goob,
Cooper,
what you eating on, nigga?
Oh, fucking Jolly Rancher. Y'all can hear that? My bad.
William Cooper said that the first UFOs are going to be fake. They're going to be ours from the United States government. Then after the fake UFO invasion, the real UFO invasion is going to come. And I can honestly say, after reading Behold the Pale Horse several times, everything that this man has put in that book that came out in, what was it, 89 or 91,
85.
everything that man has put in that book has come true.
That right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hold the pill.
Yeah.
Right there.
Hey, did y'all read the book though?
Yeah.
I read
Yeah.
the book.
The book came out in 85.
Yeah, everything is coming true, right?
It happened. Everything he talked about happened in that book.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's
Anonymous.
What's strange is that they just allowed them to sit over New Jersey with not even the military chasing them or doing anything. It's like they let them sit over Washington and they let them sit over New Jersey with no advancement onto them.
What,
just like
all right, Goob. How long?
It started in the UK. It did because they were over UK. They were over 3 installations in UK before they came to New Jersey.
So let me ask you, Goob, just in your opinion, how long would it take for a pilot to get his orders, run to the jet, start the jet, hit the runway, get up in the air, and fly to the drone? Where is the drone going to be by the time he does all that?
Gone.
It should be still sitting there. That shouldn't take no more than about 6 minutes.
Nigga, to get in the plane, jet it up, and get in the air.
Bro, do you know what kind of planes we got? You talking about a plane that get off a aircraft carrier
in 6 minutes, my nigga?
Boy, don't take nothing to explain one of them up in the air.
Nah,
I'm just saying, where's the drone going to be?
He said you got to meet the drone in the air. You're not going to meet the drone in the air in 6 minutes.
The thing that I'm saying is the drone have been sitting in the same area for 30 minutes or more.
Yeah.
You telling me ain't no plane coming to that drone? It's not like they leaving. They were leaving over New Jersey. They were sitting over New Jersey for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
But you can sit there if nobody's coming after you, Goob.
That's what I'm saying. Why they wasn't?
Yeah, because they American. That's why the government put them up there. You ain't gonna chase down your own product,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like it don't make man. All it's military installations around there. They could have got up in the air quick. That's easy. They right there. It's a naval base right there in Virginia. That's not far from New Jersey. Right. That ain't even a 15-minute flight. That's probably about a 5 right there.
So,
and
that will be to say this is the precursor to the cursor.
Right.
They were just showing us, hey, let's see how niggas is panicking. And nobody really panicked.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Nobody really panicked. So when the real shit comes, they expecting, oh, nigga, that was that same shit that came in New Jersey. I ain't tripping off that.
Yeah, they gonna catch you slipping.
Yeah.
I mean, like Jay Solid said, with everything going up, shit costing too much money. A UFO is the furthest thing from your mind when you got to feed your kids, you got to gas up your car, if you got to pay your rent. Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? If a UFO is over my house, you better send down some chicken or something to get me interested into it. I am not worried about that shit. I got grandkids upstairs.
Come on.
One of them got a birthday tomorrow. You know what I mean? And her having a good birthday is more important than me meeting a gray right now. Although, for humanity, that might be great. But, when people got things they got going on in their houses,
they don't think
you ain't got time to worry about what's above you.
But the problem is that they're going to show themselves. And that's where people going to get thrown off because they think it's BS and they're not worried about it.
Right.
But they already the government with these hearings and all that, they know that exposures. Here's the craziest thing to me. Here is this man that started the Space Force, right?
Yep.
Who is this? Is secondhand man right now that got all the money that's trying to go to space?
Oh, Elon.
Exactly. The 3 top millionaires that's in the system, in this global system, will be at that nigga's inauguration. All of them is trying to get to space.
You know why they can't get to space?
Huh?
You know why they can't get to space?
Let's go
there. Oh, say it. Say it. Say it. Say it.
Say why it, nigga, what? What?
That's the next live. Don't worry about it.
Hold on, man. No, fuck that. Fuck that.
Come on, say it.
This goddamn convo that got so goddamn deep. You can't play that. What, nigga? Spit it out, bro.
They can't go to space because of the firmament, because we're on the flat Earth.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is. We on a flat Earth. I knew it was gonna come out. I knew it was gonna come out.
Flat Earth, man, we locked in the firmament. That's why none of this stuff really be making sense when you become conscious of all this. These games they playing and running, just like he said, me and Goob sit and watch one of them hearings, listening to what they saying. They telling us now, this is how all this is going on. This is what we found. This is what we know. Like, how do y'all got all these places hidden inside the mountains that y'all working with supposed to be reptilian people, and y'all, you know what I'm saying, moving things around on the earth and letting us and not letting nobody know it don't make no sense. Technology jumped off too fast. Everything jumping too fast. And then Goob even played it when they had the thing that blew up the meteorite that's supposed to have hit the earth. They said one thing about it on the news the next day. What we doing with space police? Why we got space? What kind of program we need that we protecting ourselves from somebody in space? Who we finna go to war with? You know what I mean? So it's just like a lot of that stuff. This just don't make sense. I don't even think Elon Musk's a real person.
Oh, this
stuff going. He don't even seem like a real person.
And he don't look like a real fucking person.
Nah.
Because all the YouTube videos on this nigga. That's why.
Is he a reptilian or is he a clone? What I need to know.
I feel like a lot of people in position. I'm not gonna say they reptilian because shit, we ain't never seen one, so we don't really know what they look like. But we know that they'll get in position the way everything is. It ain't just a regular human being doing none of this. Like, there's no way. Like, you got. Like, they had a secret means across, you know what I'm saying, overseas when they had the people that control the world. It's supposed to be the 11 or 13 elite people that control everything going on in the world. I just can't believe that. Without nobody being to a point where somebody want to be in full control. I just can't see that. It got to be other forces going in with it in order to make things happen and line it up the way that it's going. Because even though we can look at all of this and see it, but then what do we do right here? All we do is work. Like, all we doing is working. So we're working toward all these things that we see all the constant things that's going on and how the government playing. We know this really ain't a government, and all these things really ain't true. They ain't go to the moon. So why are y'all still like? What do we got a space program for? We never actually went to the moon because you can't actually leave the Earth. You know what I'm saying? You can't leave out of it. So where y'all going and what are y'all trying to fool everybody about? Instead of just going, let's put it out there. Because think about it. Every time a rocket goes up in the air, what does it do? It starts to what? Make that little curve, hit that curvature. It starts because you can't leave out of this spot. You know what I'm saying? We can't leave. So we don't actually know what a space is. I was looking at a thing today just to really be on some crazy shit. Think about Antarctica. Every country on this universe, they got a treaty with Antarctica nobody ever broke. So what's over there that they don't want us to know? Why we can't go over there? You can't do nothing over there. What's so secret about it? Like, you know what I'm saying? There be things like that you think. So whatever's over there got got all these people in different countries, different positions in power. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's over there? What kind of deals y'all made? Like, what's really going on? But it's all gonna come out eventually. But it's just trickling out in little pieces. That's just how I see it. It's like these drones up in there. They say they drones. They say they UFOs. I believe in UFOs, but I don't believe they just up there just chilling like that. They ain't just doing that. They coming with a purpose. They gonna come on and handle their purpose and get on. Like, why they just chilling out and the government not doing anything? Is they making a deal with them? And then they saying, okay, we're gonna let y'all get so many people, or what? Like, we're gonna let you destroy. Like, what the play is? Like, it don't make sense.
They already made a deal. That's what in this book, Behold a Pale Horse, dude speaks about. That was the whole thing. That's why what is it? Of the third kind.
Close Encounters?
Close Encounters of the Third Kind was a real movie. They say they took some of us and they kept some of them. You know what I'm saying? So we've always had contact with whoever's up there. I think there's a bad and a good side on either side of them, just like with humans. There's a good and a bad side in humans.
I think as far as Elon Musk is concerned, this country has an affinity for people that come from white supremacist states. Right now they are really talking about how great Adolf Hitler was, and Elon Musk coming from apartheid South Africa, I think he already had an end. I think, for them, if you know what the program is and you willing to be a part of the program and you got their complexion for their protection, there's no stopping you. You're going to get credit. You're going to get funds. You're going to get money. Sky's the limit. And he's been talked about by Black employees quite a few times about how it is to work for Tesla and other companies that he owns. How there's disrespect for Black people there, and I think that he's allowed to get what he gets because he's down with that program of putting his people first.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether or not he's a clone or a reptile or tall white or whatever the case may be, I just think we got to remember apartheid didn't end until 1996, was it?
Mm-hmm.
And they forgave everybody. South Africa is no problem. Matter of fact, what was it? Just 6-7 years ago, when the Black farmers started running off the white farmers in South Africa, they want to go to the Pfizer court. They're racist. They running us off our property. What do you mean? You had apartheid since 1960. So it they definitely don't like the shoe being on the other foot, brother.
You see what what I don't get about, say, Jerusalem. I don't get how they just take over Palestinian land and call it whatever they
Israel.
Yeah, with Israel takes over Palestinian land, and they, we building a new settlement right here. Y'all got to move the fuck out. It's almost like the gentrification that's going on in LA or a whole lot of other places. You know what I'm saying? We take this out of your land and, hey, it's for us. Y'all got to move over here.
So after World War II, the United States and Great Britain would only take so many Jewish people. And so the Palestinians said, send them here. You could send them here. 25 years. 25 years they could stay, and then they got to find their own place. Within those 25 years, the first 3, they had the 7-Day War. And when the Palestinians lost the 7-Day War, the Israelis backed by the United States, pushed their boundaries and their territories to make Israel progressively larger. Israel attacked the United States Navy vessel, um, killed a lot of American soldiers. Then they turned around and said, we didn't do it. We didn't know they were Americans.
Israel did that?
Yeah.
Huh?
I didn't know that.
And then they signed a treaty where the United States would support and assist Israel. So what you got to look at is when the, how do I put it? So when the Knights Templars and whites began to go into North Africa, which that is North Africa, and they began to bring things back, you had whites that began to worship the Hebrew God, and then worshiping the Hebrew God, they became Jewish, not Jews, because they're not tied to that land and that area by blood. The British decided they didn't want Jews or people who worshiped the Hebrew God who was black in their country. And so they exiled them and they settled in what's considered Germany. And so they are not really related to anyone from that area. They are people who picked up the religion, and then through Zionism, when they created Zionism while they were in Germany, they decided we don't want to just be a religion, we want to be considered a race. And that's pretty much how that happened. And most of them were very rich and wealthy, and in some cases some of them treated a lot of Germans bad. And you really can't talk about that or you'll get kicked in the ass for it. I just always say I can't be anti-Semitic because Semitic.
Oh.
I can't be anti-Semitic because Semitic by definition is any language coming out of Africa. So I can't be anti-me. But that's pretty much, the United States.
I didn't know that. That's something new. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they didn't want.
Semitic.
They didn't. So the Palestinians said we'll take them 25-year period, and they just stayed. Oh man, everybody's turning off there. Okay, let me do it.
They hog for it.
There you go. Everybody
hog
for
the land.
So that's pretty much how that transpired. And Israel is really a satellite. Started off as a satellite of the United States, where they were good with getting intel from the Muslim countries and Russia and giving it back to the United States. So it was just that type of relationship.
But they didn't even come from Germany. They deep. But anywhere that they just go a backdrop on it, just anywhere they've been at, they didn't really like messed up the economy.
Well,
but that's why they got kicked out of all the countries they didn't been in. That leading up to going there. Before all of that, they wasn't that much in Germany. They got kicked out of Poland and came to Germany.
Right. And from Poland, from Britain, they went to Poland. And what's weird is 6 degrees of separation. Black women like being named Chanel and they like wearing Chanel, but Coco Chanel was a Nazi.
Right.
And she would not have wanted black women wearing anything of hers. And she definitely wouldn't want them taking her name. And as a Nazi, her 2 biggest investors were 2 Jewish brothers. So, people make the world go round. You know what I mean? Relationships. Who talks to this person, who talks to that person, because money doesn't care about religion because it's its own religion. You know, that's just really what it boils down to. Um, as far as the flat Earth and not going to the moon, I can honestly say to you, brother, if I rest in peace, my uncle Robert Lee Johnson. He worked on a space shuttle, and if I asked him uh if we've never gone to the moon, he'd probably kill me. Because I asked him once before if there were aliens, and he slapped the shit out of me and told me don't ever ask him nothing like that again. And I took that to mean yes. I took that to mean yes.
Yeah.
Because he built parts for the space shuttle. Um,
All right,
you know,
Anonymous, take care. You've been here the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a good live though. You know what I'm saying? We get on the 2.5 hours.
Already.
Shit. I appreciate y'all coming in.
We can get on the flat earth for the next time.
Yeah.
Do that.
I appreciate y'all stopping through.
I'm gonna enjoy it. I want to talk. I got to read up on it. So yeah, let me read up
you
on flat Earth first.
You better get you some homework, boy, because I'm gonna go in. You know
I know
go
you
in.
are, and I don't want to get you live.
Gotta have some points. Gotta have some pointers. I got a whole illustration going on over here. We'll be in class.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it. I love learning.
We'll try to do something Monday.
All right.
Sounds good.
Y'all want to talk about the flat earth. Hey, but I appreciate y'all stopping through.
For sure.
Yeah. Probably headed to Cali for the weekend, so I'll see y'all back Monday.
All right.
Right on.
All right, y'all stay up. All right. Been the Goob Show. Appreciate everybody stopping through. Hey, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Check us out. Whenever I come live, subscribe. Hit that all button. See the next time I come on with a topic. Check out the little nigga here. Fuck everybody. Nigga here. Social. Drink. Shout out to y'all. Peace.